Hey, welcome to the Social 333 podcast. I'm your host, Chris Bentley. Today, my guest is Seth Cushing. Seth, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Chris.
Awesome. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what you got going on.
Yeah, no, my name's Seth Cushing. I'm a technology consultant by trade during the day, but my life just kind of randomly fell into live shopping. I come from Georgia. I had a little bit of a rough upbringing, which really pushed me to succeed as a young man. Got into the corporate world very early on in sales, which I feel like that's where a lot of entrepreneurs start at. Cut my teeth there and then got into the backside of technology, working with United Healthcare, and really have had the opportunity to work on some transformational programs in that. That really led to me getting into the idea of building websites for folks and just an opportunity to use my creative side. Fast forward to my wife chasing her dream and us moving out to LA. Not her dream of being a actress or anything. She's a dog trainer. So
Really?
But yeah, so we went out to LA. I randomly met John Sally, the basketball player. We were RVing at the time, full time. We were in Malibu. And got into live shopping, started kind of seeing what the wave was that was happening with TikTok Shop very early on. Had the opportunity to consult with some pretty large brands to help them kind of figure out how to do live shopping. Learned a lot from each one of those as people are growing into the TikTok live shopping and eBay and just the ecosystem as a whole. And now I have a firm called The Newspaper that does consulting to help companies either get into live shopping and figure it out, or big brands figure out how to scale into live shopping as retail evolves. So.
Tell the audience a little bit about live shopping for people that are old like me that don't really understand and don't go on TikTok.
You know, I always use the phrase, and it's not the best, but I will use it here. It's like ADD or QVC for folks with ADD.
Yeah.
It's the best thing I can say is it's a new generation of what the 1950s was when it came to retail. When you used to buy from somebody who was an expert, who made you feel special. Now they're able to do that with the invention of technology, where I can be just like I am now in front of a camera, talking into a mic, but talking to hundreds, if not thousands of people at a time. So.
TikTok shopping is, I think, really disrupting retail very, very fast. I was watching, I don't really know what they call her right now, but my girl, ex-girlfriend, whatever it is, right? But she'll go through TikTok, like, and it'll be like maybe 3 seconds. She'll stay on that, and then she'll go on to the next. And sometimes I'll get stuck on the couch, and I'll be watching what she'll do. And I'll be like, whoa, go back. I'm old, right? So I'll be like, go back. That had some like potential, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like a guy and some wolf, and they're doing something, or a guy doing like a funny pranks and stuff at Walmart, because there's like a lot of Walmart prank stuff on there, which is real funny, because it's good for a laugh. But you'll scroll through, and then it'll be like the cloud sofa, and it'll be somebody talking about how comfy it is, and they'll like open it up, and then they'll start putting it out, and then they'll jump on the couch, and then they'll like, I don't know, grab a remote, right? And so it's like a whole thing. And then what'll happen is, because I've watched it with her, is that she'll go through some more, some more, and then somebody will try to sell her on like, eating these like healthy s'mores or whatever, right? And then some more, and then they'll talk about, like losing weight and then whatever they're into, right? And then some more, and then it'll be like the cloud sofa again, but it'll be with somebody else's voice, right? So it'll be like a lady, and then it'll be like a guy, and then they'll like switch it up. And eventually what'll happen is she'll be like, we should really get a cloud sofa. And I'll be like, why? Like, there's nothing wrong with our sofa. And she's like, look how comfy it is. And they say it's like amazing. So tell me a little bit about like, not only that, but like the psychology behind it.
It's the attention grabbing side. When it comes to live shopping, particularly when people are doing it right, there's a lot behind the scene. There's moderators. There's a lot of going on operationally behind the scene, but the person that's on their phone feels like they're getting a deal, feels like they're getting their questions answered, and feels like they're building trust with that brand. And it's consistently consumed and pressed to them the same way. And a lot of people think, live shopping, it's just somebody jumps in front of a tripod and they're like, oh, look at my makeup, or look at this, and this is what I sell. The ones that are successful with it understand that psychology. I have to get your attention. I have to consistently come at you with a consistent message. I have to build that trust. I have to build my brand reputation. And then I have to give you a deal. I have to make you feel special on the backside of that. Like you're part of a community. It's not just going to a store and buying something and going through the register and walking out, but it's that. And then to wrap it all up with a bow, it's the ease of buying, right? Amazon changed the marketplace for us. Dead stop. You know, we buy everything on Amazon now. Well, now Amazon's trying to go live. Walmart's trying to go live because of what TikTok did when disrupting that market. Is really being like, hey, this is the way that the buying atmosphere is going to move.
I really think it's like Facebook ads 2.0, or maybe like I had some Facebook ad experts, and maybe 3.0. I don't know, but like for me back in the day, like I would post a video, or even like way back in the day, it was just like a regular ad, and they would click, and then it would go to like a funnel, and they fill out some questionnaire, and then I would get it, and then I'd be like, Seth, like, you're interested in buying a house? And he'd be like, I don't know, bro. I just like, I was bored on the internet, and like I'm sitting on my couch, right? And then this is like way different because it's somebody, like you said, that has a very trusting voice. They see it multiple times, and it's being sold to them like while they're watching.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like look how awesome this mic is, and this pen is like great for writing about. And it's also like influencer 2.0 too.
Yeah.
Because I watched something, and it was ridiculous. I couldn't believe this person. But there's an influencer out there that people watch. I don't understand. I'm old, right? But people watch, and it's like her day-to-day life. And she has like 5 cats and 2 dogs, and she goes through this whole thing, and she's like, oh, okay, so today we're going to go get coffee. And then she's like, I got coffee from this place, and then we're going to go like feed the cats, and I get cat food from this place, and then I got to go work out, and I usually wear these like leggings or whatever, right? And she goes through this whole thing, and it's every day. So 365 every day, she talks about her life and what she's got going on, and she gets like millions of views every time. And like kudos to her, fantastic. That's a lot of work to shoot, to edit, to talk about product, to come back, because it's not easy creating content. Everybody thinks like, oh, you just sit a video recorder on and just start talking, but it's not that way, right? Talk to me right now about the rise of just creators creating content just for selling product.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge now. Like you think about it, and it's a 2-pronged asset. When a brand wants someone, we call it affiliate marketing. So brands can put out there in the world. I have companies of my own that do, I have an EduPaws business that sells like bark boxes, but does educational stuff, something me and my wife and her friend are working on. And so you have to create content. To your point, this is like Facebook ads 3.0. Facebook ads itself is like renting attention. You're just going to get that 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds. But when you roll on, you see a human being live interacting with the crowd. I've helped a hair care line that was doing like 35 million brick and mortar. They wanted to get into live shopping. Well, they had a creator, and then we got like hairdressers and stuff to come along with them. So it was a show about their brand, but it was totally a different thing. It was comedy. It was enjoyment. It was something different that the product was just a part of. And that's really where it's changing, is these creators can literally live their lives, and these brands, if they're smart, will like give money to these creators to be able to push that. And so you're talking, commission rates. So to your point, like, hey, she's got cat food, and then she's going to sell it here, and then she's going to go use a leash to walk her dog, and this is that leash brand. At the same time, that same creator now can go live for those brands for 2 to 4 hours and do hundreds of thousands of dollars in some cases, 10 times over what a retail store can do. And like with the overhead of 2 to 3 people to actually accomplish it.
I think what's really happening is the branding is getting bigger.
Yeah.
So you would see me, and I would talk about this pen, and you'd probably be like, what the hell is this dude talking about? And then you'd see me tomorrow, and I'd be talking about this pen. Or you scroll some more, and I'd be talking about this pen. And then your wife will get on, and then your wife will see me talking about this pen, and she'll see the same thing over and over again. And just like you said, I come up with some cool, crazy skit about like how I can get this like pen through my ear onto the other side, right? And it'd be like stupid funny, just like you laughed. And then your wife will be like, yo, or you would be like, yo, check out this dude that has this pen. And you'd be like, oh, yeah, I saw that guy already.
Yep.
And then before you know it, like, I become like a household brand.
Yeah.
Just being that dude that's just stupid funny or has 5 cats and 2 dogs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wild, wild thing right now.
You know, it really is. It's changing. What I like to say, especially even when I talk to big brands, you know, big makeup companies, things like that, I will tell them like this live shopping, what I call shoppertainment or commerce-tainment, is changing the atmosphere. It's allowing a guy like you who thinks he has a really nice pen, let's call it a metal pen, and you keep just creating your content about your pen and you're selling it because it's your pen and you care about it. And I'm hearing you talk about it and everything else. Well, I'm a pen guy. I like Mont Blanc. I might buy your pen. You know, like now Mont Blanc's stuck in a store somewhere. I'm not hearing anything about it, but I'm hearing about this cool pen that's just constantly going. It does take the aspect of like, you know, people laugh, like social media personally, don't do it. Like I have some social media, but it's not like my life. But I don't sit there and scroll. You know, I don't do any of that kind of stuff. And it's really, the world is evolving to where people want to buy from the guy that's willing to sit there and willing to push his product over and over and over again and build that influence beyond who you are. And I will say that like all of these systems today, it's data. It's, hey, if a guy like me who's 37 years old watches your video and has the same interest, then the algorithm pumps that to the next guy who's 37 years old and has the same interest. And so as long as you as a creator or you as a brand are consistent, in time it's going to come. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's something that really I think a lot of brands just don't understand. And I think a lot of brands are really going to lose out.
Yeah.
Because they just don't understand it. They're going to be like, okay, well, I can get Sally to do a voiceover, or I can get, you know, Johnny, because he's like a male model, to go like pitch whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like a very traditional way of doing ads, which is like find the best looking person, stick them in front of somebody, and like we're going to sell whatever product it is because they're good looking or whatever it is. And it's really not the case for TikTok. I mean, you can be it can be me, right? And I could be talking to you about this pen, right? Like just like you said, but it's more of the infrastructure. It's more of like the script. It's more of the voiceover. It's a lot of stuff put together to make a really crafted ad.
It is.
And I think a lot of people not only miss that, but a lot of big companies are just missing out on like the entire boat in general.
And that, you know, were you going to say something?
No.
I was just going to say I'm so happy that you said that because, you know, the most successful TikTok live, and this might be outdated at this point. This was back at the TikTok Shop Summit this year. But the most successful TikTok live was a hair care brand. It was a creator who did it all by herself. And she went live. She did a big show for 8 hours. She sold $1 million worth of product.
Wow.
Just that, you know. But
8 hours.
8 hours.
Live.
$1 million, brought in different creators, people that had been a part of her brand as she was building it on the platform, all those things. But during that time, she sold $1 million worth of product.
Like a QVC kind of
like a QVC, but they made it more entertaining. I hate to say it. Like I will say like nothing. I love QVC to death because QVC is even evolving themselves, which I'm proud to see. But when she did this, most people thought, oh, I can go do this. I can go sell this. I'll make a product. I'll sell it. Well, to sell $1 million worth of products, you have to have infrastructure and ops. You have to have a script. You have to have support. You have to have all those things in place to get there. And the platforms will see that and they'll pull that to you. You know, they'll promote and they'll really help you get to where you want to go, but you have to prove that. And the big brands have the money. They have the infrastructure to do that. Whether you're a mid-size or a large retailer, you have the ability to do this. It's the fear factor of stepping beyond what you know. And with TikTok and eBay and whatnot and all these platforms being so new and people really not really understanding how to engage in those, Ulta is a beautiful example. Ulta was getting their ass kicked by Amazon when it came to beauty. And Ulta transformed into technology. I was lucky enough to be a consultant there at that time, and that's really another part of where I got into live shopping. But they were building studios that were like Ulta shops. So then they could bring creators in who created this makeup to do live shopping in their studios. And so now they've created a micro studio where they can just flip it to another brand and flip it to another brand and flip it to another brand and give a support system to their creators. That's a perfect example of a large company embracing it. Now you have to see the rest of them do it. And I've seen the other side of it where you build a big, nice studio. It was for a music brand. I won't say who the retailer is. It's GC, but they were scared to advance their technology and advance their warehousing process. And so they were like, hey, sell some of our high-end stuff or sell some of this, and then we'll try. And it's like, you have to lean into this. You can't just dip your toes into it and say, hey, I'm going to try it. And if I don't see success right off the bat, then I'm going to back out. That's not how this game works. Like, you have to go into it and go into it head first.
I think the other thing that a lot of people miss, and I am guilty of it, is data, right? So, like, I get a ton of data from the show. I have no idea. I can't read it to save my life, right? I mean, I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, somebody that's 55 in I don't know, Prussia or wherever, like, the Bahamas, watch my video. Well, like, I don't know what that really means. But if I gave all that information to somebody that understands that stuff, it's like a whole different thing. And you can aim towards that stuff. I had a gentleman that was here as a guest that does Shopify, and he asked me like a ton of questions about like who watches my show, like where do they watch it, like what are they into? Is it guys? Is it girls? Who is it, right? And he's like, dude, like I could sell, product all day long to your client, the viewers all day long, just like a influencer. And I was just like blown away. He's like, just give me the intel, like give me the data, and I can do it. Live data is like even better data, right?
It is.
Yeah,
it is. It's really like the heartbeat of like what works and what doesn't work. That's the best way that I can put it. I mean, data is data. And before I went into consulting and I was still in corporate, my old boss was Lori Rehead, the CDO of Bank of America. I was her portfolio executive. I understood from a technologist perspective how important data was and how important it was going to be for the future. When I got into like doing Shopify builds, becoming a partner there, getting into TikTok Shop, becoming a partner there, having that mindset in data, it's freaky. I could literally hone down and utilizing enough data and enough data sources, be able to target market you that pin that you're trying to sell to yourself to everyone on your street. That's how close you can get. It's becoming, people don't realize that like things out there in the world are free because they're wanting to capture the data.
Yeah.
Like that's the power of it all.
And we sign away our rights every single day.
Wants to read the agreement. I mean, you're still going to use it, so you might as well just accept it and just move forward.
What do you think some of the mistakes are right now for people that are doing live creating or live selling or just anything? I mean, I think even that influencer with the cats, I think she's losing out because every day she spends probably so much time trying to promote other brands that aren't hers versus her own brand.
Well, and that's where our specialty came in early on, like with John. John came to me and he had like a supplement line or supplement, and he wanted to have his own supplement line. And so we ultimately partnered with him and we built a supplement line. We found like a distributor to do, white labeling for him. We got all his FDA stuff approved and got his stuff ready to go, not FDA, but all the stuff you have to do to sell it to mass market. Right. So we went through all that to kind of build a brand. And so where I think a lot of people are making mistakes today, to your point, like creators are leaving money on the table because they have the influence. The brand's coming to them because they have the influence. If they made a small investment in themselves, they could have their own brand and take more money home, and really be passionate about what they do. On the flip side of that, brands are missing out because either they're being stingy and not giving away enough, not letting everyone eat at the table, or they're giving up on it too soon. It's consistency. It's not easy. That's what I tell everybody. You got to pump this stuff out if you really want that number to grow.
Like that cloud couch, like when I first saw it, I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to buy that thing. And then after about like a couple of days of seeing the same ads over and over again,
it changed your
mind. And then, like I was just like, okay, I'll take a look. Eventually you just kind of you're like, okay, I guess I'll take a look. I need a couch. Like, at least I'll take a look at it, you know? Where do you really see this going? Do you see it being like a fad? Do you see it getting like pulled in by, like you said, like a Walmart, like somebody that's just going to start just pumping out massive amounts of just ads or live creation or do you see it being like a QVC, just kind of like, every once in a while you'll get like a cloud couch, right? That like there's no way in hell I would buy, but
Yeah.
like because it keeps showing up, and then maybe you buy one and you tell me how great it is, and then before you know it, like I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta get a cloud couch, right?
Yeah.
I mean, where do you really see it going?
If you go to China, they're like 4 years ahead of us.
Wow.
TikTok Shop started over there, I believe, around COVID time. I think it was like a reaction to COVID for TikTok, and just an opportunity.
Right.
You got a bunch of brands on your platform, start selling stuff,
Right.
build the possibility. And now there's no more malls. You go into China and they've turned the malls into suites of live shopping. A great example of this in the United States in Santa Monica is Outlandish. And so you walk in there and you can buy stuff from like the brands, but there's live shopping happening with like a host and a moderator in each one of these booths.
Wow.
And they're just selling stuff. And it's almost like an experience, because we as a society are moving quicker to instant gratification. And that instant gratification is like being able to buy something by the click of a button the moment that you have the emotion to buy it. And back to your point, like live shopping giving you data, that's when you know, like, hey, I said something, 4 people bought, or I said something and 4 people got off the live. Where do I fix myself? Where do I evolve? And so for me, that you see, Amazon has a live feature now, which is going to evolve into where I'm looking at a dog kennel and there's going to be somebody live selling the dog kennel underneath it. Kind of like the videos you get today, to Walmart bringing in all their biggest brands to sell. We had a brand that was on TikTok that's now going into like exclusive Walmart because they were already selling in the brick and mortar of Walmart. So all of those various things, like, this is going one way and one way only. Whether the bigger retailers kind of evolved to somewhat of an idea of what China was, where, hey, we'll live sell inside of our stores and kind of minimize our footprint. But it's evolving. Like it's not going anywhere. It's not a fad. I kind of think of it like AI. They're both kind of going into this. Life is easier, and we're enjoying the fact that it's easier now.
Yeah, I had 2 questions for you on that, but I can kind of see, kind of to your point, where I wanted to buy a dog leash, right? Yeah. And then I don't really know which one to pick. And then I like hover over, or I pick one, and it's with AI's help. Like, oh, hey, Chris, like looking for a dog leash. I saw you checking out this one dog leash. Like,
Yeah.
And then it's, instead of it being just, what is it, like a 2D, just a picture of a dog leash, and then maybe some reviews, it's going to be somebody finagling with this dog leash,
yeah,
and then reviews, so I think it's going to be interesting. One thing that I hit on and I didn't know, and I've been trying to kind of capture, and now that you brought this up, I thought it was kind of cool. So I used to do live streams at open houses. So I'd be like, yo, what's up? I'm Chris Bentley, like, come on out to come out to 123 Main in Frisco. We're going to be doing open house. Like, I'm going to be here all, for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
We're going to be serving up a whole lot of water and chips, right? Whatever it is. Like, come out, and if you come out and fill out this form, you get a free lottery ticket, whatever it is, right? So I was just kind of clowning around because I didn't want to be the only person, at 123 Main, right? Yeah. So I was like, at least somebody would come by and visit. And I thought it was really cool because people would watch it. And I'd be like, damn, like, I'm just talking about an open house.
Yeah.
Right? And I kind of feel like that lady with all her cats. So I would do that, but I just didn't know what I was doing. Like, I would just stumble across something and be like, oh, wow, that was kind of cool. Like, that worked.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, okay, well, cool. Like, I kind of compartment, put it away. Right?
Yeah, right.
But, yeah, it does work. So how, like, if you were to do, I'm kind of thinking off the top of my head, if I were to do an 8-hour live show and I had it completely scripted, had multiple people coming on, just like it would be like a QVC, I used to hate, I don't really want to say like QVC, but like have a script, have people coming in and just have like a live show and like, yo, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. And like have people come in and be like, oh, my guest today, and just have it live. Like, the amount of product I could probably sell would be ridiculous.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, absolutely. And I have actually personally, I don't know how I did it, but I've sat through, because I did the planning and helped kind of consult through it. So I wanted to kind of see how it all worked out. And it was a supplement company out of Atlanta, husband and wife brand. He was an ex-NFL player. She's just a big influencer in and of herself. I think she's going to be on like the next one of the what is it, the Housewives of Atlanta
Oh,
or
cool.
something. But so they have this brand, and the way, and we work directly with TikTok. So a big shout out to TikTok's team. Like if you come up with a good plan, you come up with a good brand, and you can get that support. They're really good about that. But they literally had it scripted. Every hour ran the same way, but felt different. So they have a home gym, nice home gym, obviously. And so they would do workouts and they do challenges with a different influencer or a different friend, and they would kind of bring them in and out. So it was like it'd be more tailored towards the husband's side and like his workout and that kind of stuff. And then the wife would get a chance to kind of breathe. And as he's doing his interview, she's coming back in and doing the same thing. And so it flowed perfectly.
Wow.
And each one of those hours, they would do different bundles. They would do different this. And that's what people really want. It's like, oh, I get 15% off. If you've got the margins in your product, give it to the people. Because they'll buy from you, and they want to buy in that moment, right? Like you got the fat guy on his couch that's like, I'm going to buy some creatine, you know? Like he's never going to use creatine, but you captured him in that moment because you put on a show for him. And, you know, it is like QVC in the aspect of like, you were selling a product, but you're not two people stuck behind a desk anymore. It's almost like you're living in real life. You're putting on a show of what it would be like in real life. Some really good ones are like Moses the Jeweler up in New York City, or what's his name, Vucom. They sell high-end watches. Like this Vucom guy's doing like 2-3 million on an eBay live show for like 4 hours. But he built influence being a young punk that would walk, not punk, he's a good guy, but young guy that would walk around and try to like hustle to buy a Rolex for 10 grand and turn around and sell it for 12. He built that. And then now he has all these companies that are like, hey, will you do a live to sell it? And because he's got the influence, he can get on there and, hey, I'll start a $20,000 watch at a dollar start auction. Because I got 20,000 people watching thinking they're going to get a deal.
Right.
You know? So.
Seth, if someone had some questions for TikTok shopping, maybe they wanted to get set up doing some live commerce, maybe they wanted just some input from you, where would they find you?
You can get me on the interwebs at the-news-paper.com, or you can email me at Seth@that. You can also catch us on socials at The Newspaper Creative, and then also follow along with a new venture that I'm doing called @EduPause. So
awesome. Seth, thanks for coming out.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Awesome.
Enjoy.